shapes. I ask help of the gods who know the trick. Change me, and let me glimpse the secret, and speak, better than I know how, of the world's birthing, and the creation of all things, from the very first to the very latest.
Before there was water or dry land, or even heaven and earth, nature was all the same, what we call chaos, with neither sun to shed its light, nor moon to wax and wane, nor earth hung in its atmosphere of air. If there was land or sea, there was no discernible shoreline, no way to walk on the one or swim or sail on the other. There was neither reason nor order, until at last a god sparked, glowed, then shone like a beam of light to define earth and the heavens and to separate water from hard ground.
Once these distinctions were made, and matter began to behave, the sky displayed its array of stars and constellations, a twinkling template of order. The sea upon which they shone quickened with fish, and the meadows with game, and the sky with twittering birds. Each order of creature settling into itself.
A paradise it seemed, except one thing was lacking. Words.
And so, man was born. He was born that he might
1 second. Hello?
talk.
Some say the God perfected the world, created of his divine substance the race of man.
Others maintain that we come from the natural order of things.
But, one way or another, people came, erect, standing tall, with their faces set not to gaze at the ground beneath their feet, but upwards toward the sky in pride, or, perhaps, nostalgia.
What would you do with all the money in the world?
What a question.
I know what I do. Do you want to know what I do?
No.
I will never do laundry again.
That's it? That's the big dream?
Among other things.
Do you want to hear a little story?
About rich people?
Yes.
Always.
There once was a certain king named Midas. Net worth 100 billion.
No, I'm not a greedy man, but it is an accepted fact, a proven fact, that money is a good thing, a thing to be longed for, a necessary thing. And my God, I have a lot of it. No, it wasn't always like this with me. No. The boats, the houses by the sea, the summer cottages, the winter palaces, the exotic furnishings, the food, and honey. Can you stop that now? Be still now, Daddy's talking. Excuse me. The outrageous food and 200-year-old wine. No, it wasn't always like this. I came up from poor. But I worked hard all my life, still do, mind you. My father, he was a minor manufacturer somewhere. But I was born with a head for business, and it's almost been as though everything I've ever touched has turned to gold. Not literally, of course. Wouldn't that be something? Turn to profit, and sweetheart, Daddy asked you, be still, take it inside. You see this pool? It cost a pretty penny, I can tell you. But all it takes is hard work, plain and simple. And those who haven't got it in them, well, what can anyone do? They just haven't got it. Be still, you're driving me nuts already. God. But you know, I never forget that it all for the, let's see, all for the, oh yes, the family. That's what it's all for. One's own family, I mean, not anyone else's, for God's sake. When I get home 7 days a week, in the moments before I sleep, I realize that, what was I guess the family is what matters most.
Sir,
Yes, what is it?
this man's been making trouble in town. We believe he's a beggar, sir. The first most drunken kind. Hello, King!
What should you do?
Nice place.
Yes. No need. My dad certainly bent 3 sheets to the wind.
She's the what?
Why even last week at the feast?
No, shh! Let me tell you something. You know what?
No, what?
Let me tell you.
Yes?
Let me tell you something.
Yes, all right?
I've been all over the world.
Oh, have you?
Yes, and I'm lost now. I've been all over the place.
How nice of you.
You listening? Well, let me tell you something. There's a country beyond this one where...
This has been very fascinating, but if you'll excuse me.
No, listen. I strayed from the crown, and I'm lost now. But there's a country.
Asia?
Further.
Africa?
No, further. Over the ocean. I've been there.
Oh.
King, I tell you, it's like a dream. A dream. I am telling you, in this place, the people, they see each other. In this place, they live without desire of any kind. In so time, there is no time. Just the blue sky above and the pretty moon at night. And the yellow meadows under your feet and the yellow
Okay,
flowers.
well, thank you. This has been most entertaining.
The people live forever.
What?
They live forever. They never die.
Oh, how? Some herb they have? Some...
Oh, no, no, no.
Well, what is it? Something in the air? Something we can distill? I was shipping fleets, you know, so we can bring it back here.
No, no, no. That's your daughter?
Go on, can't you be still for once in your life? Go on, go on.
You're rich indeed.
Go on. Is it an animal? Oh, even better if it's an animal. We could breed them here. My God, the millions. Don't worry, old man, you'll get your cut.
No, no, no.
It's not an animal? Then what is it? What is the secret to eternal life?
It's here.
Oh, a formula. You have it, the formula?
No, no, no. It's here.
What?
And here.
Ah, yes. The inner life of uselessness. Very well then. You may go and sit in the cabana.
Thank you.
Oh, for heaven's sake, turn him over. Somebody turn him over before he drowns.
Night fell, but when the rosy fingers...
My days?
Good Lord. Who's there?
It's Boggs. I hear you have a follower of mine.
A follower?
Yes, Salinas. He wandered off from my group as we were passing close to town, and I hear he is with you.
Ah, yes. The fellow in the cabana. Go on, take him. He's all yours.
I'm glad you didn't turn away, Midas. That you took care of him and so you didn't drown in his condition.
Okay!
I'd like to present you with a gift.
A gift?
Some ability, minor miracle, something to do at parties. Yes, anything.
You promise?
Yes, of course.
Then I wish that anything I touch, anything I put my hand to, will turn to solid gold.
That's a really bad idea.
What do you mean it's a bad idea? It's a brilliant idea.
Think about it, Midas.
No, you think about it. You gave your word, we had a deal, now follow through.
All right.
And from that moment on, everything he touched turned to solid gold.
Wait a minute. Let me think where to begin.
He went out walking, and with every step he took, the gravel from beneath his feet turned to golden nuggets. Delighted, he put his hands out to branches of trees and to flowers, and he had gold, branches, and flowers. All day long he experimented, almost insane with happiness, that the whole of the world could become his personal treasure. Late at night, he stumbled back into the courtyard, laden with precious gold. Papa!
Wait, no! Take it away. Bacchus, take it away.
I can't.
No, you can't. You must take it away now.
I'm sorry.
No, please take it away now.
There is one way, Midas.
What is it?
Walk as far as the ends of the earth. There you'll find a pool that reflects the stars at night. Wash your hands in it, and there's a chance everything will be restored.
Is that too sad for you? Maybe it is. All right, here's another.
There once was a There once was a king named Ceyx, who had as his queen Alcyone, daughter of Aeolus, master of the winds. These two adored each other and lived in a monotony of happiness. But nothing in this world was safe.
It isn't true.
It is.
One day, Alcyone had heard that Ceyx had ordered a ship to be ready for a sea voyage to visit a far-off world.
How can you leave me alone? I'll pine in your absence. Overland, the journey is long and arduous, but I much prefer that over a voyage by sea, which I fear, for my father's winds are wild and savage. You think, as his son-in-law, you'll get some special privilege? Not so. Once those winds have escaped my father's cave, they are wild and are beyond anyone's control. As a girl, I remember watching them come home, exhausted and spent, and I learned to fear them then. Now I am petrified, surely, she said. If you die, my life is over, and I shall be cursed with every reluctant breath I draw.
My love, I hate to choose between my journey and you. How can I live this way? Stranded on shore? Domesticated, diminished, a kind of lapdog?
Then take me with you, and we shall face the storms together, which I fear much less than being left a widow.
In 2 months' time, I'll be back.
No, I fear you won't. I know you won't.
In 2 months' time, and for that short amount of time, you can be brave and endure the trial of waiting.
She was hardly consoled, but she saw she could not hold out any longer in the face of this resolve. She allowed herself to be soothed and consented to his going. There were no more details left to be checked, no last-minute changes to make, and the men, arranged on their benches, were ready to row and go. He boarded and gave the sign, and then he turned to wink at her. She waved at him, while the ribbon of black water widened between ship and shore. She gazed at him until he was no longer distinguishable, but she could still see the ship. And she narrowed her eyes to the horizon and watched as it receded to a smaller and smaller object. And then the whole hull was gone and only the sails remained, and then they too disappeared. She gazed still at the empty and desolate room, and then went into her empty bedroom to lie on the huge and vacant bed and give herself over to weeping.
The vessel cleared the harbor and caught the fresh wind, which set the rigging to singing and slapping against the spars. I ordered the rowers to shift their oars and the sailors to set the yards and make sail. Our ship ran before the wind. We made satisfactory progress all that day until we had reached a point of no return, with as much blue water astern as remained ahead.
But the sun was sinking in the west. The water, everywhere blue until now, began to be flecked with the white-capped waves sailors disliked. The weather was worse with every moment, for the winds were on the loose.
Reef the sails, veil the water, secure the spars.
But Poseidon and his henchmen had arrived. The rest was one enormous green catastrophe.
He thinks in an oddly abstracted way that the waves are like lions crazed with hunters' wounds, that the ship is like a besieged town attacked by a horde of madmen. One would think that the heavens were crazed with us, enjoying the turbulent sea.
Men had lost the belief in their captains, their nautical skill, their courage, and even the hopelessness as they wait for the end. One week we groaned aloud, another no braver, silent, dumbstruck. One called them the gods of mercy, another cursed with fate, and one said one word.
Alcyone,
Again and again.
Alcyone, my treasure Alcyone.
And this is the end of the world.
O gods, hear my modest prayer, that my body may wash ashore at her feet, where she may, with gentle hands, prepare to be buried.
Nothing left but the slow parade led by Hermes to the underworld.
One, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, 98, 99,
waxes, drifting in languor. Around him are fragments of ill-assorted dreams that hover over the floor in grand profusion. Like leaves trees have to let go, to float through the currents of air and fall in their gorgeous billows below. Hello! In this strange and breathless place, Iris the rainbow intrudes.
Oh, somnolent one. Somnolent one. Wake up! Mildest of all the gods, soother of souls and healer of pain wracked bodies and
Iris! Iris, let me rest a moment. Iris, what do you want?
devise, if you can, some form to resemble King Ceyx, and send it down in a dream to his wife, the Queen Alcyone. Let her know the news of the wreck of his ship and the death of the husband she loves so well. Sleep. Lord, do this for us. Will you? Farewell.
Morpheus! Morpheus! Come and change your shape to that of King Ceyx. Go to his wife and tell her he is dead. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Now go.
Sir, you seem like a seafaring man. Can you tell me where is my husband Ceyx? Have you seen him on the sea? When is he coming home? His ship is strong and unmistakable. Have you seen him? Sir?
Do you not know me? Has death undone me so?
No!
Look at me. I charge you, look at me.
No, I won't! I won't!
Look at me and know your husband's ghost. For your prayers have done no good. For I am gone, beyond all help or hope forever.
Go away!
For I am not some bearer of tales, but the man himself to whom it happened. Look at me, my little bird.
I told you. I knew this would happen and I begged you not to go! I knew the day you would sail and I lost you forever. The ship, my hopes, and my life grew smaller all at the same time. You should have allowed me to come!
Little bird.
This is no good. No good. That I should be living and you should be elsewhere or nowhere. I am drowning now in the air. I'm right here on the land where the currents are just as cold and cruel.
Get up from your bed and put on your morning clothes.
Wait. Where are you going? Wait for me and I'll go with you as wives are supposed to go with their husbands. Lucina, give me your lantern. Ceyx! Come back! Where are you? Come back! He was here. Where is he? Where is he?
the jungle life. Rheolus, her father, then keeps the winds short rein, and each year gives 7 days of calm upon the ocean, the days we call halcyon days.
When you see a miracle like that, how can you deny the existence of the gods? Believe it or not, there are some that do. There was a man named Eurysabon who scorned the gods and refused to sacrifice on their altars or do them any honor. He only saw the usefulness of things. One day, he found himself in a grove sacred to Ceres.
Cut it down.
Sir, that tree is centuries old.
We need to cut it down.
Sir, this is a sacred grove, and that tree is beloved by Ceres.
It's only true the goddess likes, but same with the goddess herself, I can cut it down just the same.
Sir, please.
Get off me.
And he tore the tree.
Who's that? And what might that be? Oh, I'm really frightened.
But the goddess Ceres had already heard the cries of her tree, and her mind immediately began to move upon the torments she might inflict.
Orion! Yes? There's a place in far off Scythia. Nothing grows there, no wheat, no grass, no trees. There you will find huddling together cold, fear, and gaunt hunger. Tell hunger I command him to visit this brute and establish a home for himself in his belly. I give him as a toy. I will. I would for myself, but it's forbidden for me and hunger to ever meet.
Orion flew out to the Caucasus, a bleak nightmare. There, in a field of stones, crouched Hunger, pulling from between the rocks with his teeth and filthy fingernails some bits of moss. His hair hung down in lank and matted locks. His eyes were sunken and circled. His lips were slack and cracked. The vaults of his spine stuck out, as did every bone in his body. One could count the knobs on his spine.
Hunger?
Yeah?
Ceres commands you, or rather permits you, to
Yes?
to go to Eurysabon and to never to leave him until he's finished.
Gladly.
Hunger crawled through the air to the house of his victim. As he flew overhead, fields withered and men starved. Birds scattered from his path too weak to fly. It is night when he arrives at the home of his victim and curls through the halls until he finds him asleep in his bed. He wraps cadaverous arms around him, an embrace as strong as love, but quite the opposite of love, and breathes his spirit into his spirit, and he begins to dream.
Pastries. Cheese. Breaks!
He wakes,
Bring me something. Anything to eat. I'm starving.
but he can't wait to be served. He begins to eat everything in sight, meal after meal after meal after meal, but he can't shake this hunger.
More. I need more. More to eat.
Fried shrimp and mushrooms, salami and ice cream, glittering donuts, everything in every possible combination. Breakfast is opening and just in the world, but still is never filled and remains thirsty and guzzles more and more forever, so he calls out for more.
It isn't enough. It isn't enough.
His origin empties the larder of the storerooms, the warehouses and the barns of the city. Still, the emptiness within him is unabated. What is left to sell?
Mother.
My
Alright then.
The few points he received, he ran from his feet. Riding in the boat behind her new master, Eurysthon's mother leaned over the hole and prayed to someone she once knew.
Poseidon, if you remember me, come and save me now.
From the briny deep, Poseidon heard her prayer, pulled her into the water, and changed her back into the little girl who used to play along the shores. The salty water licked away the years, until she emerged, the one who gave him praise, shouting among the waves. This is the type of sweet, unbidden praise the gods adore, and do not forget.
Hey! Hey you! Little girl, listen up! Where's the old woman who was here moments ago? Did she dive overboard and swim up the shore?
Sir, I swear by the god of the sea that no one except myself has come to the shore. I swear it.
To this day, at every hour, somewhere in the world, you can still catch a glimpse of that little girl playing along the shore. But back to our king. It wasn't enough. The money she earned him was not enough for his needs. You've seen such men yourself, I'm sure.
More!
The godless are always hungry.
I need more!
They're always yelling at waitresses.
Bring me more!
There's nothing to one end to such a man. He will destroy himself.
Bon appetit.
You've heard of Orpheus, the greatest musician of all time, and his bride Eurydice? His was the unluckiest of wedding days. Orpheus and Eurydice, number 1, Ovid 88. Orpheus, the wayward bridegroom, mourns her in the upper world, but his grief was limitless. Inconsolable, desperate, he left the warmth and sweetness of our air. He dared to descend the river Styx and crossed it to the underworld. Through that dim domain, with all its shimmering, varied ghosts he passed, until it reached its melancholy heart, and found its king lying with Persephone. He knelt before them, drowning in his grief.
I don't know what power love has down here, but I've heard that he has some, for he brought the two of you together. If that is true, that passion moved you once, and listen to me. I've tried to master this grief, and I can't. I understand we all come here in the end. My bride Eurydice will soon enough be your citizen in the ripeness of her years. I am asking for a loan, not a gift. If you deny me, one thing is certain. I want you to keep me here as well.
As Orpheus spoke, the pale phantoms began to weep. Tantalus was no longer thirsty, and Sisyphus sat on his rock to listen.
Orpheus, turn around. Eurydice, Your song has moved us, Orpheus, and we have decided that you may have her. On one condition. As you ascend and leave this place, she will not be walking beside you, but she will be following. You must not, until you pass our gates, turn around and look at her. If you look at her before you reach the sunlight, she will be ours. Forever.
I understand.
Hermes will accompany you. But remember, hesitation or doubt, and our gift must be returned. A simple enough condition.
It ought to have been. The singer led the way, ascending down the sloping path through the earth. A long way they traveled, almost all the way. But you know what happened. Concerned for her, or not quite believing that it wasn't a cruel delusion, a dream, or a mirage, he turned. That was his last sight of her, but he saw it again and again.
Farewell.
Is this story a story of love and how it always goes away?
Farewell.
Is this a story of how time can only move in one direction?
Farewell.
Is this story a story of an artist and loss that comes with sudden self-consciousness or impatience?
Farewell.
Orpheus and Eurydice. Number 2. Rainier Maria Rilke. AD 1908.
He said to himself, they had to be behind. Said it aloud and he turned to fade away. They had to be behind. But their steps were ominously soft. If only he could turn around. Just once.
But looking back would ruin this entire work. So near completion.
But then he would not fail to see them. Those other two who followed him so softly.
The god of speed and distant messages, a golden crown for those shining eyes. His slender staff stretched out in front of him, wings fluttering at his feet. And on his arm, barely touching it, she.
A woman so loved that from one lyre there came more lament than from all lamenting women, that a whole world of lament arose, in which all nature reappeared. Forest and valley, road and village, field and stream and animal emet around this lament world, just as around the other world. The sun revolved. In a silent and star-filled heaven, a lament heaven, with its own disfigured stars. So greatly was she loved.
Now she walked behind the grisly cloud, her steps constricted by the trailing influence.
Uncertain, gentle, and without impatience.
She was deep within herself, like a woman having a child, and did not see the man in front, or the path ascending steeply into life. Deep within herself, being dead filled her beyond fulfillment.
She was no longer that woman with brown eyes, who had once echoed through the poet's songs, no longer that wide couch's scented island and that man's property, no longer.
She was unloosened like long hair, poured out like fallen rain, shared like a limitless supply.
And when abruptly the god put his hand out to stop her, saying with sorrow in his voice,
He's turned around.
she could not understand, and softly answered,
Who? Far away, dark before the shining hazy gates, stood someone other, whose features were unrecognizable.
He stood and saw upon the strip of road among the meadows. With a mournful look, the god of messages silently turned to follow the small figure already walking back along the path. Her steps constricted by the trailing grave clothes.
uncertain, gentle, and without impatience.
rivers and the forests, but loved the fields and the orchards. These were her passions. Her life. She didn't disdain Aphrodite as much as ignored her. She kept aloof from any suitor. There was, however, one suitor, the god of springtime, Vertumnus. He was
In love.
more than all the rest.
He adored her.
In the manner of the Shire gods, he used to disguise himself. He would dress up as a farmhand, put on a straw hat and a working man's shirt, and stick a haystack behind his two ears to look like some storybook yokel.
Abby.
After that produced nothing, he thought he might hold in his hand a pruner, who looked like a field hand who tends the grapes in their arbors. After the complete failure of that, he came with a ladder to look as though he were bound for some nearby orchard to gather apples. With wigs, costume, and makeup, he once tricked himself out as a soldier, romantically returned from foreign wars. Another time, he set himself up as an ordinary fisherman, fishing his hat on the chance of meeting. He waited there from dusk to dawn, passing from boredom to terror and back again.
The point was just to be near her,
Stand there and gaze at the beauty,
and maybe even to wish her good morning,
or
good afternoon, good night.
before she plodded on by.
I live for these trivial moments.
One day, he put on an old woman's dress and a wig. And wandered through the breezy hills, where he saw his beloved standing in the lavender.
Lovely, truly lovely. But humans are lovely still. Just look at that, would you? See how that tree and vine complement each other? Complete each other. Separate they aren't much, but together they are splendid. There's a lesson in that, my dear. One that you may consider. The way you've been keeping to yourself is no good. It's a sad violation of nature, as well as a waste. A lover is what you need to make yourself complete as a woman. And you have many choices, I think. As many as Helen. But there is one in particular that I would recommend. Vertumnus. I know him as well as I know myself, and I warrant, I guarantee, that his eyes are for you alone. Consider that he's young, attractive, healthy, and strong. Your interests, too, are the same, for he likes trees and gardens almost as much as you. Besides, he's fun and takes on various disguises. It's a game he likes to play. Believe me, you may take the words I speak as if they were coming from his own mouth.
None of this was working.
Why are you wearing that ridiculous wig?
Oh, I thought.
Take it off. And take off this idiotic dress.
I'm embarrassed.
My parents were separated when I was really little. Before I was even born, it was a one night sort of thing, except in the day. Where my mother would watch my father pass by every day. Anyways, I always knew who he was, and I would see him pass by every day, of course. Who doesn't? But he wasn't really around. I mean, not around.
Where better might we find a more precise illustration of the dangers of premature initiation than in this ancient tale of alternating parental indulgence and neglect?
I went to an expensive school, and there were a lot of boys there who were, sons of the rich and famous. And one day, this kid, Epiphanes, he comes to me, he says, "So, Peyton, who's your father? What does he do? Blah, blah." So I tell him, "My father's a son." He says, "Tell me another." And I say, "My father's a son. He's Phoebus Apollo." And he basically trampled me. Basically beat the crap out of me like I was not.
Neither his own opinion of himself, nor the regard for him or lack of it in his peers, obviates the father's primitive role as initiating priest for the young being. Now, it cannot be contested that the absence of this figure is, for the son, an almost irredeemable loss.
So I go home and I'm like, "Mom, this happened." At school, she gets all upset, crying and everything. Because, well, she still loves him, and it's an insult to her as well. And I say, "It's unfair, that there's no proof." She gets even more upset. She says to me, "Hear me, my child. In all his glory, your father looks down upon us. By his splendor, I swear you are his truly begotten son. That fiery orb you see across the sky, whose heat enlivens and enables the world, whose light orders the days and nights, is indeed your sire. Believe me, my child." Blah, blah, blah.
When he matures beyond the customary Eden of the mother-lost, the child seeks to individuate beyond its enfolding gate and turns to the new symbols of the paternal doctrine, thus beginning his spiritual passage from one sphere to the next.
So she tells me to go to the valley where my father goes to work every morning and just asks him to set things straight, to do right by me. So I set out, and it's hot, and it's dusty, and it's a long way across a field. I hitch part of the time, and part of the time I walk, and finally, I get there, and the hill is steep.
But this passage is never easy.
At the door are my dad's secretaries, the days, the hours, and the centuries. They recognize me, and they say, "Go in." And there he is, all shiny and golden. I couldn't even look at him, he was so bright. You know what he says to me? He says, "My son, you are welcome."
My son, you are welcome.
Speak faith to your father.
To your father.
I could not tell you what this was to me. So I tell him everything. I spill my guts. And he listens to me and he says, "Let me grant you a favor."
Let me grant you a favor.
Whatever you ask shall be yours.
Whatever you ask shall be yours.
And he swears to it.
The conventional authority of the initiative from latent to realized potential is inevitably accompanied by a radical realignment of his emotional relationship with the vague parental authority.
Now, there's only one thing I want. I mean, it's obvious, right? I say, "Give me the keys to your car." And usually he starts backpedaling, saying, "It's his job."
It's my job.
And that no one else can do it.
You can't do it.
And that up in the sky are the bull, and the lion, and the scorpion to get me.
There's a scorpion.
I say, "Give me the keys to your car. I want to drive it myself across the sky. It's my turn. You promise I want to light the world today."
The father, or his substitute, must be assured before he transfers the symbols of the location, the son no longer is operating in infantile complexes that might dangerously redirect his new past.
"Where have you been all my life, Dad? It's my turn. Hand it over." So he hands over the reins. But he won't stop giving advice. He was like, "Don't fly too high.
Don't fly too high.
Nor too low. Stay on the tracks. Go slantwise."
Go slantwise.
But I didn't listen.
Myths are the earliest forms of science.
was over before it began. It was total chaos, okay? Out of control, as if no one was driving. My knees were weak. I was blind from all the light. I set the earth on fire, and I fell. And it destroyed me. Completely and utterly destroyed me. O-V-E-R. Over!
It has been said that myths are public dreams. Dreams are private myths. Unfortunately, we give our mythic sides scant attention these days. As a result, a great deal escapes us. And so it remains important to speak not only of the rational and easily understood, but also of the irrational and the ambiguous, to speak both publicly and privately.
Who's this?
This is Eros, god of love.
Why does he wings? So he can move quickly from body to body. Why is he naked?
To make us transparent.
To make us what? Transparent in our love. Foolish to others. Exposed. Why is he blind? He is always pictured blind, but he really isn't. Because in love, they're so ignorant and so compulsive?
There's that.
What else?
He is blind to show how it takes away our ordinary vision, our mistaken vision. That depends on the appearance of things.
Who's this coming down the stairs? Her name is Psyche. Psyche? Her name is Psyche?
Yes,
What's she doing here? She is married to God, but she's never seen him. Why is that?
he forbids it.
How did they meet?
Psyche was so beautiful, the goddess Aphrodite hated her. She sent her son to punish her, but he fell in love instead.
Does she know that he's a god?
No, she suspects he's a monster.
Have they?
Oh, yes.
And how was that?
It was good.
Then why does she suspect he's a monster?
Her jealous sisters told her so.
And she listens to him?
Unfortunately, yes.
So now she's going to see him as he sleeps.
Yes.
To make certain.
Yes.
With her eyes.
Yes. She's very young. It happens all the time.
She does not trust what she has felt herself.
Not with the radical trust you need.
What does the word psyche mean?
In Greek, it means the soul.
What's going to happen to her now?
She's going to suffer.
And?
She's going to suffer.
And?
She's going to suffer.
What does she have to do?
She is given horrible and lonely tasks by Aphrodite,
Such as?
sorting thousands of little seeds, one from the other.
How did she manage?
Some little insects help her,
Like in fairy tales?
like in all fairy tales.
What else?
She has to go down to the other world, fetch various things.
Isn't she afraid?
She was petrified, but she did it all the same.
Wasn't it hopeless?
It was hopeless, but she did it all the same.
What loved her in the meantime?
He healed his little wound. It hurt him so much when she looked at him like that. The wax from the candle fell on him and burnt him.
How does it end?
She finishes her
in our soul. It always happens if we're lucky, and if we let ourselves be blind. Instead of watching out, always watching out.
Indulge us now, as we have one more tale to tell. A coda, if you will.
It happened that one night, Zeus, the Lord of the Heavens, and Hermes, his son, came down to earth to see what people were really like. They disguised themselves as two old beggars, stinking and poor, ragged and filthy. They knocked on thousands of doors.
Hello, do you have any spare?
Get out of here! Get the hell out of here! I work hard for my money.
And 1,000 doors were slammed on them.
Hello, we're from down the street, we're tired, and we were just wondering if,
I'm sorry. So sorry.
At last, they came to a small house on the outskirts of town.
How about the knocking here? We knocked on countless of houses, home to people with plenty to spare. These people want people to do nothing.
Let's give it a try the same. Come on, let's wait.
This is hopeless. Let's just go home.
Oh, poor strangers. Come in, come quickly. We have guests at our door.
Hello, we're strangers in these parts. We lost our way.
Marcus, why are you staying here? We must bring our guests inside.
Did you know this?
Why, of course.
You do?
Yes.
Who are we?
Why, you are children of the gods. Come in, come in.
The two immortals, satisfied that the disguises had not been seen through, entered the house, lowering their heads and fit through the door.
No, don't sit on the floor. Sit on chairs, as quality people do.
Philemon ran to get another chair.
Bacchus fetched 2 pieces of cloth. Have them, so the strangers might rest easy.
She stirred the coals and hearth, and fanned the flames to keep them moving.
Philemon set out the embroidered cloth that they saved for feast days.
Bacchus noticed that one of the legs of the chairs was shorter than the other, so she propped it up with a sharp cloth.
Philemon set out a plate of olives, both green ones and black, and a saucer of cherry plums.
Then there is cabbage, some roasted eggs.
For dessert, there were plums, figs, dates, and nuts.
And a basket of ripe apples.
Remember how apples smell?
At last, with a show of modest pride, they brought out a bit of honeycomb for sweetness.
Philemon poured wine from a bottle, but as they were filling the glasses of the guests, he realized the bottle remained full.
And then they knew.
Oh, mercy! Mercy!
For you are divine when we have served you such a simple meal. Bacchus, go and kill the goose.
That is it. We are gods, and we thank you. You've done enough, more than your nasty neighbors thought to do.
Suddenly, everything was changing. The little house, their simple cottage, was becoming grander and grander. A glittering, marble-columned temple. The straw and reeds of the thatched roof metamorphosized into gold, as gates with elaborate carvings sprang up, as the ground gave way to marble paving stones.
Old man, old woman, ask us what you will. We shall grant whatever request you make of us.
Having lived our whole lives together, we ask that you allow us to die at the same moment.
I would hate to see my wife's grave, or have her weep in mine.
The gods granted their wish. Arriving at an old age, the two stood at what once was an old doorway, was now a grandiose facade.
And Bacchus noticed that her husband was beginning to put forth leaves. And he saw that she too was beginning to produce leaves and bark. They were turned into trees. They stood there, held each other, and called, with bark close toward their mouths.
Farewell.
Walking down the street at night, when you're all alone, you can still hear, intermingled with the branches
Let me die the moment my love dies.
They whispered.
Let me not outlive my own capacity to love.
They whispered.
Let me die still loving, and so never die.
Mm-hmm.